Welcome back to the If You Build It podcast. This episode is going to be a little more light and fun, away from our traditional podcast. It's more of our holiday vibe, end of the year celebration. And I'm Riyad Ali.
I'm Will Ellis. Again, thank you guys for all your support over the last few weeks as we've been launching these episodes. We have Joseph here, and Joseph is the producer of If You Build It, the podcast. And Adam, that's behind the scenes there, is our sound engineer.
Yes.
And well, Adam won't be coming on camera, but I'm just saying, but Joseph is here. And this episode really is just us sort of just reviewing what happened this year and the good, the bad, the ugly of 2023. Before we start, everyone have a great holiday season, create new memories, avoid the news, it's negative, and try to end the year on a positive.
100%. And Definitely. Joseph, thank you for all your work this year, getting this up and running, and we're going to make you feel uncomfortable now and have you on camera.
Right? Like, yes, this is definitely not the position I like to be in currently. I'd rather be, as Riyad is saying, behind the camera. It's a lot safer.
It is.
There. Yeah.
Now I can make fun of you.
This is what happens when you step in front of the camera. You're forced.
We are all wearing holiday hats. It's the holidays, of course.
Yeah. I'm the elf. He's Black Santa.
Black Santa.
And he's Rudolf.
Yeah, no red nose though.
Yeah.
Rudolph the dark nose.
Yeah, Rudolph the dark nose reindeer. Yeah, we just coined that right now. Trademark it.
Yeah. You know, we went out to dinner last week, and Joseph ordered a steak. He knew this was gonna come out. And
wow. Okay.
And you know, years ago, I did the same thing with steak. I would order it charred and ruin quality steaks.
I didn't order it charred.
What? You initially started with it well done.
No.
Medium well.
Medium. Wow.
That's pretty much well done at a restaurant.
No. Listen, our waitress said that it is a good step if you're coming from the well done,
right?
You know,
because
area.
Coming from the West Indian families, we all know that we overcook our meats.
Yeah. And so you did medium.
I did medium.
Medium.
Yes.
And?
So it was excellent. It was the best steak I've had.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Now,
thank you very much.
When you're at home with your family, how do you have a steak?
We don't actually make steak.
They stew it, man, or the curd.
Yeah, we don't actually have steak like that, no.
Beef.
Curry beef,
yeah. If anything, it's just like, let's see. Yeah, we just bake it or whatever. Like if my mom does like something with like a jerk beef or something like that. But yeah, it's not really the same, like kind of like North American style,
right.
like sirloin or anything like that. So,
this year, 2023, I've become a fan of a ribeye steak.
Interesting.
Question one? Then I'll ask the first question of the group here. What was your favorite thing to eat this year? Favorite meal?
Can I go first?
Because we heard you excited. Yeah, jump for excitement.
Yeah, you talk about food. I'm all there. I have to be. I was in Hawaii for vacation.
Oh, really? When did that happen? You heard nothing about it, right?
Yeah, it happened so fast, right?
I know, it was very quick.
It's poke bowls. It was the best thing I had. I got it from where it started.
Yes.
So it was phenomenal. But I'm all poke out. I had so much that I don't want to eat it anymore.
Right. And what is poke?
It's basically almost like sushi grade, raw fish. And in a bowl of, sometimes brown rice, there's edamame, pretty much anything. And sometimes there's sauces but it was amazing. It was amazing. Can we take off these things now?
They should stay on your head for the first 5 minutes of this.
For the first 5 minutes. I haven't even tracking the time.
We're on minute 3.
We're on minute 3, okay.
Okay, so what was your most memorable or favorite thing to eat this year?
Honestly, is when we went to Chuk. I think that's steak.
That's Chuk and Pickering. Well,
yeah, for sure.
Shout Chuk.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think before you got there, Riyad, you had asked for like some chips and like salsa, and the salsa was very like fresh, right? No, listen, you go like it's different. Yeah, it's very different. Like had a very fresh taste to it.
Yeah, because it wasn't bottled salsa.
No,
right? It was
exactly
made in house. Yeah, made in house.
Made in
right?
house. So, no, it was absolutely excellent, and that was the first indicator that the food at Chuk was going to be excellent.
Yes,
right.
Really good food there.
Yeah, and even like with the steak, it came with the Brussels sprouts.
Oh God, those Brussels sprouts!
Those are so good.
Yeah, I ordered a side of that just for
yeah.
You're really
yeah.
Those are good. My favorite thing to eat in 2023.
I'm curious.
So
I have an idea, but I want to hear what you're saying.
I'm biased. I'm a massive fan of Springwood.
I knew you were going to say that.
And
Yeah.
and Springwood for me, their bread.
Oh
my God. I was here just last week. Their bread with the grass-fed butter. It's life altering. I mean, I like bread, but there's something about that bread that's so insane.
It's it's the crispy of the outside and then the softness and airiness of the inside.
Yeah, and so again, shout out to Springwood and Whitby, outstanding. And the bread was surprising because bread's bread, really, right? But that bread, there's something about it. I think it's all tough that you ever had grass-fed butter?
Never
heard of it until with the Springwood a few months back. Heaven.
Interesting.
Best thing. Yes, you should take the wife there. She'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Here's a question.
Of course.
Most interesting person you met in 2023?
Most interesting person I met in 2023.
I asked the question. I got to think about this answer.
I don't even know an answer for that one. Most interesting person. Who wants to go first here?
I haven't been meeting a whole lot of people.
Right.
However, with the opportunity to produce for this podcast, I've been meeting a few local business people here, of course. And I think I think Jaden.
Oh yes, Jaden Kennedy.
Yeah, I like her story. I don't want to air out her business, but as far as like how old she is, she presents herself as very mature, very intelligent, beyond her years type of thing. Exactly. And I said this to her.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I said that to her because I think before you guys even invited her, probably a few months before that, I started following her on Instagram based on someone had reposted one of her videos.
Okay.
And I just liked the way that she had delivered like her content. Right. And I was like, okay, you know what? I don't really need all this info. I'm not even in the market to purchase a home or anything.
Right.
But I just like her delivery. And I said, one day when I do want to get on this side of the camera, right? This is someone to kind of take some notes from.
Yeah.
Right. And I just really enjoyed just her presence and everything like that. So I think for me, that was really interesting meeting her and having her come on the podcast and having conversation with her and everything.
Perfect. You ask a question that I have no answer.
I think for me, is the owners of Springwood, Jasmine and Matt.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Their story's amazing.
Their story, yeah. Just to take that risk from being in Toronto, being in that high-paced,
true,
where true chefs technically come to good call. Mine's making a noise, you know?
Yes.
Oh, here you go. Here. I don't know if it catches it, but I'll leave it there. Nope, never mind. Doesn't work. No, but just to hear their story, like, if you're a chef and you have a high-end product you want to sell, where do you go? You go to Toronto. Yeah. And the fact they took the risk and came to Whitby, open up some in here, I think I like their story.
Actually, because we just interviewed them. The video's now on our YouTube page, and we slowly leaked out on our Instagram. Their story, and I was just there a few days ago again for dinner.
And we're there next, and we're there this week too.
They're getting 3 days. It's the detail, and I'm becoming, as I've gotten older, coming out of COVID, I think most restaurants are garbage when it comes to service.
Yes,
garbage when it comes to quality of ingredients. I'd pay a bit more money for the level of just finesse that Springwood offers, and other places like KB, like Fart Cafe offer in our area, versus what is out there coming out of COVID. I think every restaurant should look to Springwood and those, and as an example of what you can do in Durham region when it comes to providing a level of service that we deserve. Yeah. It's not Toronto like we deserve it here in Whitby, Oshawa, Ajax, or Clarington, Pickering. We deserve it. Yeah. So I'm very glad that Springwood is here, and I agree with you 100% there, Riyad.
Once. No.
Yes, I do, 100%. Do you have a question to ask?
No, I don't have a question to ask. I just like a comment about what you're saying with Springwood. I was actually listening to some conversation I was having with like family recently.
You were listening to a conversation that you were having?
I was listening to something someone said during a conversation I had. I was trying to shorten it. During a conversation I had with family recently. And they were talking about just like customer service they were having on a plane and different things, right? And at the end of it, what I realized was the special treatment, quote unquote special treatment that they received was just people being nice.
Yes.
Right?
We forgot what that is sometimes. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Exactly. And so with Springwood, like I watched the video as well. I can what I garner from that interview is that that couple, they're very authentic.
Yes.
Right? And I think they have a very clear idea of the environment that they want to create.
100%.
And like the hominess or like the just relaxed environment dynamic they want to create for their restaurant. I haven't been there myself, right? But just the way that they run things, like the things that they talked about, like anyone could come and fix something at your table, right? The chef's right there, kind of thing, right? And like they don't have like a back staff or whatever the case is.
It's open.
It's very everything is open, everything. Right? Phenomenal. And just even down to their tagline, come over for dinner, right?
Oh,
yeah. He watched that video.
You actually watched the video?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you're feeding us garbage. Oh, that's great.
No.
Oh, that's great.
No. I actually watched.
That's amazing.
I watched the video, right? And it's just that authentic feel of people who are, to me, from what I gather, like I said, I haven't been there yet. It's just like this authentic feel of people just getting together, like having good food, and enjoying each other's space,
connecting people,
right? Connecting and everything,
and the community,
right?
That's right.
And so I feel like, but that should be a standard that we just have, right, with each other.
Yeah,
not just that it's like special or something.
Yeah,
it should just be like, hey, I meet this person, I can be a great person towards them or towards anyone, right? And anything that I have to offer that could benefit someone else's life, right? Why not share that? You know what I mean? Something that I've been.
That great on camera.
No. Something that I've been trying to live.
He's gonna play it back and be like, "Oh man, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did this."
Probably,
and you can't, 100%. And you can't edit out this.
I can edit out everything. but something that like I've been thinking about in the last several years, and I'm trying to live, right, is whenever you're given anything or you're blessed. To me, a true blessing is when you receive, but you also are able to share, right?
Yeah.
So even when I got my house, that's the whole thing. I'm just like, how can we share this with other people, right? How can we invite people over? How can we do things? How can I bring my family?
And invite to your house, though.
I know.
For 25 years.
I can't invite everyone over at the same time.
So everybody watching,
but this is how I want to approach things. Like anything that I have, right? Is there a way for me to add to other people's lives in any capacity?
Oh, I agree with you with that.
Right?
That's how I live.
Yeah. So to me, that whole kind of communal thing, when you're just kind of just looking out for other people, hopefully if you share with other people, then they also want to pick up and, give back to other people, not just back to you or whatever, but like, like that whole, what's it, pay it forward type thing.
Yes.
Right. And so, yeah, we're coming back to the whole Springwood thing. Watching that video and listen to them talk about the experience that they want to have there and everything, I really like that. And now I'm looking forward to going with my family there and things like that at some point.
Yeah, it's an experience, and it's the detail.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I host many things at my own beautiful little shack I live in, my house. And one reason why I do it is because I hate leaving my house, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can say I have a great home. Why am I going to leave it?
Yeah.
To complain about what food costs and bad service. But two, also, I just feel like, you can do some great things with some great people in your home.
Yeah.
And you can, have your friends and your family come over. And, it's nothing's better than being able to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's part of the reason why, we're in real estate. I think you people, at times forget.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, realtors make so much money. We do not make a lot of money. I think very few do very well.
The average salary in 2020 was $40,000.
$40,000.
Yeah.
And that's, you think about the marketing and the cost tied to it. But the reason why I love homes and I love what real estate, my parents, when they came to this country eons ago, their only goal was to own a home.
And pay it off.
And my parents did that. My only goal for me when I was young was to get a home. I know people are saying homes are very expensive. You don't have a choice. You can rent and pay a lot more and have no control, or you can buy it and be in complete control of your home. And so that's your choices that you need to make. But being able to then use your home as a vessel to give back to people and to create your own great environment. One, great for your mental health. I noticed this during COVID. We had so many people at our house during COVID.
Yeah, because you did your garage.
I renovated my garage. I have an insane garage.
Yeah.
Beautiful lounge.
I didn't know him at that time.
Yeah.
Well, I knew him, but I didn't get invited.
Right.
Yeah.
You ask me in a second. Well, after I've done my answer here.
I'll try to remember.
How many times Riyad invited me to his house for a pizza thing? We'll get back to that. Anyways, and creating an environment where you could be relaxed and there's laughter. People, making fun of each other is what we do, right?
Yeah.
But it's huge to laugh.
Yeah.
Life is hard.
It is.
And if you can't laugh and just relax, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Life is meant to be difficult.
Yeah.
And if you're not challenged, you're not living. And so that's my advice to you. That's what I've learned. The biggest thing coming out of 2023 for me, if you're not challenged, you're not living.
You're not living. I'll add to that as well. You're not living and you're not growing.
Thank you.
I like that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now ask me that question.
How many times has Riyad invited you over for pizza?
Cut this piece out. Cut this piece out, right?
Thank you very much. Riyad and I became teammates.
Yeah.
But a year.
But you're in 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But Riyad has had this pizza oven that he's talked about many a time.
Imported pizza oven?
Run the big size of this light pizza oven.
Oh my goodness.
And he talks about the dough he makes and and he had all these friends over, not me, over this past summer.
But I gotta ask you a question. Ask me how many times I did it this year.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you done it this year?
Zero.
So, okay.
I think it's what a waste.
We had no time.
We're all very busy people. Make time.
No, I have to.
Gotta make time.
We said already for next year. We're starting April. Once snow's done, we're clearing it up.
Once the snow's done, bro, use it now. Why not use it now?
No, you could. Yeah.
Pizza. You can't grow a good pizza and then put a steak in there.
Steak was amazing.
Insane. I guess it's my turn for a question now. Biggest surprise, news story, life event for you for this year in 2023?
That's a good question. If you stick to business, I would say just doing this podcast, like the planning, the effort on everybody's part. I know that this setup alone.
Yeah.
So when we first said, we'll do a podcast, I literally thought, okay, we'll buy a couple cameras, stick it up, and we'll just start talking.
Yeah.
But it's more than that, right? It's the sound, it's the quality, it's even getting the chairs right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then learning about even when people canceling you last minute, and how do you readjust your schedules, and
exactly.
You know what I mean? So in terms of business, the podcast was.
Joseph?
Funny enough, the podcast is my biggest surprise for the year as well. And we kind of talked about this a little bit when we met last week. Initially coming into it, I wasn't really sure what the vision was for the podcast or even longevity or whatever.
Neither did we. We just wanted to do it.
Yeah. No, for sure. Right. So I'm just like, okay, cool. I know Will and Riyad, we've done a couple real estate stuff together. And I'm like, okay, cool. They're looking for some more content that I can help out with.
Yep.
I just started getting ideas in my head of what the podcast could look like. And, I was happy enough to try to put it together, and it's turning out better than I thought. It's a lot more work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Than I thought. But I think the most surprising thing to me about it has been the guests that we've had on, right? To me, I think what it's taught me actually is the power of networking, because you guys have tapped into your network, right? And the various people that you guys have had on, even from Ken, Jaden, Trevor, right? They all have different walks, and but there are some commonality in the approach to being an entrepreneur, which I would expect that, just because when anything is hard, you have to dig within yourself to actually grow a little bit to overcome those challenges, right? So you expect it. But then when you hear people talk about their experiences and their pathways and all that stuff, it's always, to me, enlightening, right? And I didn't have any expectation for where things were going to go or where the content was going to go. But so far, I think I'm enjoying everything that I've been listening to.
Right. And
I'm hoping, for continued growth with the podcast and everything. So to me, this has been the biggest surprise.
Wow.
Yourself?
Well, for me, I lost a friend this year.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
You heard about that, but no, not from death. You just cut people out, or people cut you out. You know, even at my age, 45, it's. I've learned one thing at my age. If people don't know who you are at this age, they do something wrong. Like I am I mean, you've known me for how long?
20 plus years.
Yes. Yeah. Have I changed at all?
No.
The only thing that's changed is my waistline. Like my personality is the same.
Yeah.
My directness is the same. I grew up in a house of very direct people.
Yeah.
And for people to be surprised by it, like I will never apologize, and you should never apologize for being who you are.
Right.
Now, people may expect a different reaction from you.
Yeah.
That's on them. That they should never be fooled.
Yeah.
By how I react to things.
Yeah.
And even Riyad, the short time we've known each other, understands how I operate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we understand each other.
Yeah.
I think that's why we work too, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I was on a interview. What was that? Like an interview, I guess?
Yes, you were interviewed by our brokerage.
Yeah, and there were
thousands of people saw.
Thousands. But one of the questions was like, how do you deal with when you guys disagree? And it caught me off guard because we don't really disagree about anything. It's just we understand how each other work, and we go with it, right?
Yep. And that's the thing, like, you want to have a group of friends, a circle of people, family's family. Sometimes your family.
No matter what happens, they're family, right?
Family. So, no matter what, it's family. But even my family understands me.
Yeah.
They understand me to a fault extremely well.
Yeah.
And they know if I'm hovering, if I'm coming by your house for no reason, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you. I want to know what's happening. Yeah. So you better tell me because I will not leave until I find out.
Wow. Yeah.
And I have such great friendships. 25, 30-year friendships. And everyone knows what they should know about each other and even if you don't see each other for a few months or a year, you cut back together and it's like, just like old times.
Yes.
That's what you want in your life at this age. Friendship should not be hard.
No.
At any age. I mean, in your 20s, you think you hold on to friendship, but in your 40s, are you 40? Yeah, you're 40 now.
Yeah.
In your 40s, it shouldn't be hard.
No.
We have aging parents we're dealing with. We have a whole bunch of things we're dealing with in our 40s. That friendship should be a place you come to relax and either vent about what's going on with your parents or whatever, or your family, or just people you have a good time with.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, just to kind of talk about like our history of me knowing you for this long a little bit. So obviously I know you through like just playing basketball. Like
playing basketball.
So he was the water boy, right?
No.
I was very good, Joseph.
We can cut this part out too, Joseph.
No, well, the
directness. Hold on. No one has ever said he was good. They just kind of.
I was good.
No, he was good. He was good, but
they just move on to the next topic.
It's like 25 years. Like I retired 8 years ago.
So
thank you.
What I was gonna say was what I'm trying to get back to like what I was gonna say.
Joseph's gonna answer. No, look at me.
What I was gonna say was about you being the same person is. I think the directness that you talked about, I don't really have a specific example, but I just remembered that whenever you were there at the basketball court, you didn't even have to be playing. It almost felt like the school principal was there. Like Will just had this presence about like, you need to stay in line with something, right? I don't know why, but he had that presence, right? And to me, it didn't really have any impact because I'm just there to play basketball. But that's one thing that I can see that is consistent. But I feel like that type of directness, that type of mindset that he has probably has led to the success that he also has, right? Because I feel like when you cut straight to the point with something, you cut out all the fluff and then you're just that much more efficient with whatever you're thinking and doing, right? Yep. Some people don't like it because maybe, you could step on a few toes if you're sensitive or whatever the case is. But I feel like, people who get it can appreciate it and they also understand how productive it is, right? So you can take it one way and like feel hurt about it, or you could take it like as it comes and just say, okay, I understand what you're saying and then move forward. And I think like you never really have to guess then. How do you feel about this? How do you know what I mean? So I think, that's one thing I could say is definitely consistent, but he definitely did feel like he was the principal there on the basketball court.
At 21. I felt like that. Yeah.
It's a fun question.
Yeah.
Favorite show or movie for 2023?
Sports movie?
No, show or movie.
Show or movie. Who's going first here?
Anybody.
I'll go first, I guess, since you were looking at me. So my favorite show 2023.
It doesn't have to be like it premiered in 2023. It can just be something you watched.
Yes. I'm gonna still say Succession. I think Succession, HBO, Crave. In my opinion, I've watched many shows. I'm rewatching The Wire again. Insanely amazing show. Succession, writing, cast, just how the writing, it's outstanding. Though when the Emmys come on in a few weeks, it is that great of a show. Movie-wise, I'm not a big movie person, to be honest. I don't watch that many movies. I just saw...
I can't think of anything I've watched.
I just saw The Best Christmas Ever with Brandy. It was god-awful. It was terrible.
I watched a trailer. I haven't watched it.
Yeah. The trailer is the movie. Yeah, so that's it.
You?
Yeah. Funny enough, you mentioned The Wire. I started The Wire years ago, obviously, but
You've never seen it?
I had never finished it until this year.
Okay, and?
Wow.
Yeah, I was impressed. Yeah, I could see. I feel like the writing in shows now I feel like they don't have that type of writing anymore. They don't have those type of characters. I mean, there are shows that are out there, like you're talking about Succession. I haven't watched. I've been busy too, right? But on a general basis, I feel like there was a period, like going back like 10 years ago, that there were just like multiple shows that seemed to be around that I thought like captivated people's interests. I don't know about now, but like The Wire, like obviously is older than 10 years ago, but like The Wire itself, like, I won't go into the details about like different parts that I liked or whatever the case is, but just the writing or the concept that they had, how like the dealers were working to try and like, you know,
especially in that time frame too.
Yeah.
When
exactly.
There was no texting, really, no technology, no cameras.
And how they did it without all these things.
And think about it, that was 21 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
To think about how quickly technology has come.
Exactly.
And the fact that they used, and again, I had a pager back then.
But pagers and payphones.
Pagers and payphones. That's how you lived back in the day. People forget that.
It was so that was one of the things that was kind of odd because, you know, obviously being 40 now, you've kind of seen the change in technology, right? And now when you're watching a show and seeing people using a payphone, you can actually say like this is like a period piece.
Yeah.
Of sorts, right? And it's kind of strange because we grew up when there was a payphone on like different corners. Right? So now when you're watching that in the show and you're just like, wait a second, there's no payphones around. Yeah. Right? It's just like starting to feel old. But yeah.
So your favorite show was The Wire.
This year.
Yeah.
The Wire was my favorite show this year.
I agree.
So I agree with you, Succession.
I know what show you're going to say.
So I still have one.
I know what show you're going to say.
I still have one season to go in Succession, but I will watch that.
What was
my show that I loved was Wagwan Fam.
That's a show?
No, Top Boy.
Oh, Top Boy. Oh, yeah. I was like, there's a show called though.
Yeah.
Why was it so good?
You know what? And it's funny because we talked about The Wire because I love The Wire. I love everything about The Wire. This is kind of like the more modernized version of The Wire.
Right.
I love the accents. I love the slang. It kept me going. Like I had to sit there and watch it.
And I told you to watch it. You were reluctant.
Well, because I watch a trailer and sometimes trailers don't do a show or movie justice, right? And when I first watched the trailer, I guess because the accent, I was like, whatever, you know, I'll get back to it. And then more and more, you talked about it, other people talked about it, and I'm like, you know, I got to do it. And I watched the first one, and I was hooked.
You know, the only thing that I hate, like I hate when shows have to end, and the ending, in my opinion, is just a throw. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
it was too fast. They did everything fast, in my opinion, but I understand what they did though.
Like I love how Succession ended. I did it.
I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not going to
ruin it for anyone. But the last season for me was done exquisitely. Yeah. Like because I'm a TV fanatic, and I think when you have a show that's so well written, and it's a show that it's detail oriented, heavily, like lots of dialogue.
Yeah. So when I watch a show, I can't be tired.
Yeah, you can't be.
That's why I haven't finished it yet, because if I'm tired at nighttime, there's so much that goes on, and you have to pay attention to, because there's a lot of lines in there you don't realize it's funny or it's a cut up or it's a pivotal line, and then you're like, oh shoot, that's what he just said, you know. So
and remember, these are it's billionaires.
Yeah.
Right.
So the scenery is insane. Yeah. They're filming all over the world.
Wow.
Right. So you know, like this last season, they're like out to mountainside villa for only billionaires. Wow. So this mountainside villa, the scenery is insane. Like episode 4 or 5. It's insane.
Well, what I love about it the most though is main character. The old man. Logan.
Logan. Yep.
Like you can call him bad, you call him a villain, you call him whatever you want to call him, but he is where he is in that show because of how he is.
Yeah, being
you know what I
ruthless.
mean?
Right.
He's ruthless.
Yeah.
Right.
But I actually like him. I laugh whenever he opens his mouth. The way he talks to his kids, like, oh my God, like, I laugh every time.
But can you imagine being a kid that you have so much money?
Yeah.
That like having so much money that you're nothing. Like these kids are nothing without the money.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
no personalities. They lack.
They are who they are
confidence.
because of their parents' money.
Because of
Yeah.
dad's money. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting show. Watch it.
Question about it, because I think I might have started watching the first episode. Did it take a while to get into it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's slow at the beginning. Like
yeah.
I started watching, my wife and I were watching when we were a bit tired, and we both fell asleep the first episode.
Mm.
And then Will and another friend of mine kept talking about it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I had to get through it. And
Yep.
he told me get through 3 or 4 episodes.
You
So I
had
did
to
it.
get through
Yeah.
the first few episodes.
Yeah.
But it isn't action packed like
No.
we're used to, right? It's a story that you got to listen to.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
And it's very Shakespearean.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
It's a matriarch or a head of a family,
Yeah.
and everyone's trying to get their position.
Yeah.
And these kids, and they are billionaires.
Well, it's almost
So it's just
it's the same thing as The Wire and Top Boy.
Yep.
In the sense that you want to get to the top, and you're ready to cut people out or take people out. Except this is in the corporate world.
Yep.
Right.
It's almost the same concept, just more one's legal, one's not legal. Well,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, let me know how what you think of it.
Yeah.
It is, again, I think the best show of 2023. Yes. Another question by who else? Another question? Oh, yours. Sorry.
Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts on this year. This year was fast.
And the plan for next year? Yeah.
So 2024 for me. Like I've watched these first few episodes of this podcast. I got to work out more. I look super fat. And here, I like being fat. I'm not going to say the same guy I was ever skinny, but not this fat. 30 pounds, 50 pounds ish to lose. I'm not going to set a goal, because goals are, I'm going to set a path of just being more active and working out more. More pickleball, and being just more going for walks and being more active. And I think that will help me shed some pounds. Eat better. I like to eat, but after the holidays.
Yeah, definitely after the holidays. The holidays is not a time to start a diet or anything.
But if you can maintain and do relatively well, it's not bad.
That's what you do on
True.
the holidays?
I've never done it. I said this year I'm going to try better.
Well, you got to try. You got to work out and eat the way you eat.
Yeah,
that's possible.
I eat pretty well.
But during the holiday, you go a bit overboard with the eating?
I usually do, but I'm trying to cut that back this year.
And not happening.
Yeah. I say, you guys asked me this in January when we talked, and we'll see where I am.
That's true. Yeah, for 2024, definitely health. I'm trying to improve on that. I think I had a pretty decent summer this year, and I'm kind of like slacking off a little bit right now, but I want to make sure I can get back doing something. I'm trying to get a trainer for my bicycle so I can actually do some cycling indoors, because I think that's what really
Get a what?
So
Peloton.
My wife and him and most of my friends now have it.
Yeah,
they love it. I tried the Peloton once. The seat felt like it was in my throat. I could not. I could not. I was like, no. But they have great workouts. Like I do the workouts all the time.
Yeah, like from the group that I cycle with, there are people who are on Zwift.
Okay, yeah.
Right, and then they can do meetups and things like that. So I'm a little bit interested in like trying to join them with some stuff, because they're kind of serious,
right?
But they're serious. However, it pushes me,
right.
which I really like.
Which surprises me. What I learned about you is that you are a cyclist.
Yeah,
because I usually aren't cyclists like very bony, skinny people, right?
Yeah, no, I know. There's a group out of Scarborough that I went to high school with. The guy, he started a cycle club during COVID, and it grew to like 500 people.
Oh, you're talking about Chris?
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, so I cycle.
Mandem.
Yeah, I cycle with Mandem CC.
Yeah.
Like in the summer, I go down and do like rides with them all the time.
Yeah.
And then
you should come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You should.
And but there's another group out here called MCS, Melanin Cycling Squad, right? So Melanin.
Yes.
Right? So we don't typically have that slender look, a lot of us, right? So you have various figures in this group, right? But men and women you can like, doesn't matter age, you can get your butt whooped by someone who's like 55, 60 or whatever the case is, right? Which I like, right? Because it's
motivating, right? Like
it's exactly. And then because you could see that someone's been doing it for so long, then you realize this is something that you yourself, even though I'm just starting right now, I could continue this for a long time.
Right.
Right. And do it at a high level, right? Where, like some of these people, like I get home, like when I first started riding with them, sometimes I would get home and I can't move for about 45 minutes. Right. But then eventually I started getting better and better. Right. So I'm just like, okay,
How long is a bike ride?
So the ones that we go on, the one that I go on with them more frequently, it's about an hour and a half, right? We take a break, we stop halfway.
How many kilometers is that?
So we usually on the Sunday rides that we do, it's like just under 40, right? So we do
not bad though.
Yeah. So we ride.
I've done the ride to conquer cancer.
Yeah.
That's 225 kilometers. Jeez. So from Toronto to Niagara Falls.
Yeah. And back.
What year?
Oh, 2010.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those are long rides.
That sounds awful.
Right.
Awful.
But the thing is, like, you get used to it. Like, I tell people now that when I started riding was in COVID, and the first
ride. You just started riding during COVID?
Yeah. Just like 2020.
A lot of people's passions or newfound hobbies came out of COVID. Because what else you can do? Like, look, Jonathan, he started breaking red, right? Like,
Well, I have no hobbies. What hobby did I pick up I picked up laziness and weight gain coming out of COVID. How's that? I need to get a hobby. I think I need to get a hobby.
Yeah.
Oh, pickleball.
There you go. You see? Pickleball. There you go.
About that.
Yeah.
I need to play that more.
But yeah, like the first time I rode my bike, I rode 10 kilometers and I almost died. I think I probably, for like an hour when I got back to my condo, I just sat on the inside of the door in my condo for almost an hour.
I remember when I said I was going to do this whole ride to conquer cancer. I'm like, okay, I'm going to ride a bike. And, I'm thinking back in the days in high school, I used to ride this.
Exactly.
So like, well, it's easy.
Yeah.
I did I think it was about a 10K. And honestly, like everything hurt. Everything hurt. Like, I couldn't, I was walking like this. You know what I mean? Like everything was hurting.
Yeah. And then, so speaking about Man MCC, there was a meetup that they had towards the end of summer. And I didn't have my car that day. And I figured, I'm like, you know what? It's early enough.
You know, bike.
I'm going to bike downtown. Yeah.
From Whitby.
That's
the dumbest idea I've ever
It's not the dumbest idea. It was excellent, right? It was excellent. It wasn't easy coming back, right? Because I also came back at nighttime. But the total I did that day was like 120 kilometers, right? But here's why I'm telling you that part. The way I felt after doing the 120 is exactly how I felt after doing the 10 3 years ago. Okay. Right? So the progression was there, right? And so even though I was dead tired and my body hurt the next day, looking back to see that I made so much progress in 3 years, that 10 kilometers caused me to be at this place, it was phenomenal, right? And anything I could do in life, to me, that where I can like put my mind to it and then I can actually see progress, it gives you brings you kind of joy. Like you're overcoming something, right? And to me, you can always transpose that same attitude into anything that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Right. So even like
if you build it,
right? So even this podcast, even like me doing this podcast, right? Like I said to you guys recently, I think coming into it, I think what I thought I was going to do compared to what I'm doing right now, what I thought I was going to do is 10% of what I'm actually doing, right? However, I'm taking it in stride. I'm like, okay, I have to learn some things here. I have to do this here, like audio stuff, whatever the case is. I have to do more than what I've known in the past. But every time I do one more episode, I'm building and getting better at it and everything like that, right? And so it's the same thing. Like that continuation of work will pay off. And then when you get to like 50 episodes or 100 episodes.
That's our goal, 100.
Yeah. When we get to that point, well, the person you are and the knowledge that you had at the beginning and the person you are at the end is completely different.
Right.
Right.
So when we hit 100 episodes, Will's riding 10K.
Yeah. I will. Be 2028, maybe I'll be a lot lighter by then. I'll be 50. Yeah. But I'll be a lot lighter by then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So speaking about 2024, like So aside from
you didn't finish your point?
Well, no, I didn't finish my point. I'm a long-winded.
I don't even think
You're
said
a long-winded speaker.
Yeah, I'm a long-winded speaker.
Did I say mine?
No.
Oh shoot.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm a long-winded speaker. But yeah, so to finish my point, fitness definitely is one thing that I want to continue into 2024, and also just with my own entrepreneurial journey as being like a producer or videographer and things like that. I want to continue that, and I think I actually really think that this podcast has. This opportunity to do this podcast has put me in a good position to grow, and I'm just kind of looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's really nice to hear that our little idea that we came to. Well, how long did that come to you regarding this?
Jeez, I don't know.
May?
Months? Yeah. I started
May
talking about it.
April? No, oh no, when we got listing. It was like back in like March.
Yeah,
in Mississauga.
Yeah, I
Guys,
think you guys mentioned it.
We talked about it. Fade off. Came back.
And then he did a video for listing that had in Mississauga, and then agents called me. Asked me who did the video because it was like it was phenomenal. I told you this.
Yeah, you told me this, but I'm still surprised by that.
And then I said, "Interesting." So I rewatched the video. I was like, "That's interesting." Because I did not expect that from you.
Yeah,
didn't expect it at all. I don't know what to expect, but you were very good. And I was like, maybe this could work. And then you've created this whole production, lights and all this stuff. That's when people come on the show, they're like, "Wow."
Yeah.
Like like most people get this set up, episode 20, 25.
Right,
we have a studio, we've got a sound engineer, we got you, we've got guests, we've got food.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for all that you do for us.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I know you're going to be going to India.
Yes.
Soon. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I am.
Well, what's going to be your most? This is going to be the longest episode in history.
I do have to leave soon. Though.
Yeah.
I got to take my daughter to basketball.
40 minutes already. Yeah.
Are you expected? What's your favorite thing to do in India when you go there?
So the last time I went, I only went for 10 days.
Only?
Right? Yeah, it was very short, right? However,
that's not sound short to me at all.
However, one experience I had was they have these houseboats. So they have I don't know names of places or anything like that. I'm not well versed in the geography of India, but they have these houseboats and it's on a river, right? And I'll tell you about that experience, which was interesting, is that when you get on the houseboat, basically you're going down the river just for a ride. And when it's a river, it's not like some small thing. It's a very wide river, right? So there's other houseboats that you're passing on the way and different things like that. And so we didn't spend the night, but you have rooms and beds and all those different things. There's actually a kitchen on the houseboat, and there are places, or at least there was one place that as we're going, we stopped off at a shop to buy food, and their store like leads out to the water. Okay. So you stop there.
Like a drive-through?
Kind of like, right?
Almost,
right? Yeah. You stop there, you get like home cooked food and like it's fresh vegetation and all that stuff. So it's the quality of the food is really, really good. And you get that food and you keep on going. And like, there's also at one point in the day when you can get dessert, there's a guy on the water with his boat that goes around selling like ice cream to the other boats.
How do they get the ice cream cold?
He has a little like fridge in his boat and all that stuff. And he goes around. I don't even remember how he was passing the ice cream. Like he had some kind of pole where he would pass up to you guys and you would pass him the money and all that stuff. It's kind of cool. On this boat's double decker, right? And when we were coming back, the time of day, it was actually the sun was starting to set. It was the most beautiful scene that I've ever like been part of, where you're seeing all these other houseboats on the water just drifting slowly, and the sun is setting. It's amber, the water's amber, and it's like the breeze on, like almost like the ocean is blowing.
Right.
Most relaxing time I've ever had. Right.
That's what you want to do.
That's
what I'm looking forward to. The other thing I'm looking forward to is like they have mountains. They have amazing mountains up there. There was the one that we had gone to was in Munnar, and at the base you start off at the temperature is like 35 degrees. You take a bus ride up. Yeah, you take a bus ride up, and then there's another portion where you can continue to walk, and temperature drops to 14.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do that when you're there as well?
What I've heard, we're going to visit mountains. We're going to do some sightseeing and things like that. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
definitely looking
You're
forward
leaving
to
in
it.
a couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Okay, Riyad's the last. Riyad, what was your goal for 2024? Sorry, I got sidetracked in India.
Yeah.
Mine's easy. It's focus on the business, grow the business again.
Business is growing. Yes.
Yeah, do that. For myself, is travel more.
And what you also going to do more of? Relax.
Oh yeah, no, travel more. And then for personal, I want to really incorporate back martial arts. Not competing or anything like that.
But your workouts.
But in my workouts and training.
What about relaxing? That we fit into your schedule, so you can.
Martial arts is relaxing.
It's
everything. It's stretching.
Is that ridiculous?
It's stretching. It's meditation. It's doing the forms and stuff. So that is relaxing for me.
Well, perfect. We've dragged on here for quite a while.
But
and again, thank you guys so much for listening to If You Build It, the podcast.
Yes.
We are available on Apple, YouTube, Spotify. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you,
Happy
guys.
New Year. Have a safe trip.
Yes.
Adam, thank you again for all your help.
Thank you, Adam.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. And to everyone that's watching us
thank you.
And listening to us, thank you. We would not be here without you.
Definitely.
2024 is going to be a big year for this podcast. Our goal is to do at least 50 episodes.
Hey, let's go for it.
We'll do it.
50 episodes. We'll be making some changes, of course, to make it better for you guys. But thank you again, and have a wonderful and safe holiday season.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.